Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Prazi here, and I am so excited to share with you an adventure that I had, a place I went to called Maolin. It was one of the best experiences I had in Taiwan. It's weird because I didn't expect it to be that much fun, because if you looked at Maolin from a map, from Google Maps, it really doesn't look like much, but trust me, it's so worth it. It's awesome. If you're a guy trying to take your girl somewhere, or a girl trying to take your guy there, or if you're a family or anything else, this is such a cool place to go to. And in times like these, when, there's the pandemic going on, it's difficult to travel abroad, most people are traveling within Taiwan, this is the place to go. And when I got there, I met this man, and he was sort of the teacher, and he taught me so many things about everything about Maolin. The most famous part are their butterflies. There's a special butterfly in Taiwan called the purple butterfly. It's a subspecies of a milkweed butterfly, and they migrate from northern Taiwan to southern Taiwan during the times I went. And this guy knew everything about these butterflies. He knew which ones were male, which ones were female, how many different variants they were, at which hours do they sleep and which hours do they fly. He knew how long they lived, and he taught me all about them. My Chinese isn't great, but it was still cool to have him explain to me these butterflies. Now, butterflies might not sound too amazing or noteworthy to most people because everybody's seen butterflies, but I promise you, not many people have seen this many butterflies. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of butterflies in this area.
We're walking up this trail that has like loads of butterflies beside us. Again, it's still sleeping time, but whatever, it's still cool to see them. And spiders and all kinds of nature. And we're so high up in the mountains, it's actually quite foggy, which is interesting. It's got, I've always said this about the mountains, but it's very mystique. Like, check this out right here. Very mystique. It's got a lot of mystique to it. Loads of butterflies up in the sky now, thousands of them.
And it's perfect if you're taking a Taiwanese girl there who wants to take some really interesting Instagram photos, because let's face it, that's what they want to do. Because it's just, you look like a Disney princess when you're standing there. Now, unfortunately, I went when the weather was less than permitting, and so the butterflies were sleeping, or at least at the time of day they were sleeping. It was a bit rainy, but even that was really cool because all the butterflies were clinging to the trees, and they looked like leaves, but they weren't. There were thousands of butterflies in the forest, in the trees around us as we were walking around. It was so cool. I mean, the place just looked like something straight out of a fairy tale. So if you're into taking photos or something, I would highly recommend going there for that. And that wasn't the end of it. Our teacher took us to make some mochi. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but basically me and Alan were tasked with making this, and I didn't know anything about them, but apparently it starts off as rice and a special type of mountain yam or something that he got together, and he heated it up, and he put it in this big giant wooden, if you imagine a mortar and pestle, but way bigger, that's what he had.
好，来，我们要吃 rice， hot 啊，你的那个米汤米香跟他讲。
有。It smells like porridge.
这个 rice。
他说很像粥啊。
你吃看看。
很像粥。
嗯。要吃到米香。
We're good. As far as rice goes, that's really, really good.
比较黏的那种米啊，糯米。
糯米。
哎，不是白米饭，不是那个炒饭的米。
And he wanted me to do it, and he made it look easy. When I grabbed this paddle, it wasn't too heavy, but as soon as I started smashing it down, the disappointment on his face was unmistakable. I simply could not grab this thing high enough and slam it down hard enough, because the idea is that you're turning this rice and yam into a sort of paste, a glue, I'm not sure how to explain what it is. And this guy put us to shame. This guy has power. He's in a lot better shape than Alan and I are. But eventually we got it done, and we had to take some of the mixture and form it into balls. I made mine way too big because I don't really know anything about this stuff. I don't typically eat it. Then you roll it up in some sugary stuff. Then you roll it up in some peanut butter and sesame, and we ate it, and having fresh mochi balls was really good. I wasn't expecting that. We all really enjoyed it.
So have you made mochi before?
I did. I made it with Yvain in another Aboriginal village in Alisan.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I had absolutely no idea how to make mochi. I didn't know the process. I don't know what's in it. I don't know anything about it. So when he showed up with like that big wooden mortar and pestle looking thing, and he started smacking that rice, I was like,
Did you know it comes from rice?
No. I thought it was some glutinous material. I had no idea.
It's just beaten rice, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel a little bad because I think he thought he was gonna have like these two strapping young lads coming out, beat some rice.
Nope.
And no, he basically, I wasn't allowed to touch it.
He entertained you for like a few minutes and then took over and did an amazing job. But in editing, it's going to look like you made the most amazing mochi, right?
No, I got to give credit where credit's due. That man is more than twice my age and absolutely put us to shame.
Yeah.
He's in way better shape than we are.
But it's not just his physical strength, it's also the pride that he has in getting it right and making sure like we don't cut corners, and he doesn't want to produce a substandard mochi.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think the issue is that once that rice and yam mixture gets too cold, he was saying that you can't pound it into mochi after a while.
Yeah.
It becomes too difficult. But I've got like blood blisters on my hands after 5 minutes of like.
Oh my goodness.
We're useless at this.
Well, we tried our best.
Tried our best.
What's next?
Lunch. I don't know about you, but I quite like Aboriginal lunch, so I'm excited for it.
Love Aboriginal food. Wow, that is a feast.
Well, that's just for one pro. Oh my god. I thought it was going to be sharing one. I thought that was a lot of food. This is an enormous amount of food.
Aboriginal style.
Bang for your buck, am I right? I've just had the fire roasted pork, I guess it is. It's just
stone roasted pork.
Stone roast pork. And it's unbelievably good. It's so rare to get a char like that on a meat here and it not be overdone.
You can taste the fire in the meat.
Yeah, it's got that very charcoaly type flavor to it.
So how are you enjoying your day out in the countryside of Taiwan?
I don't know, I feel like as soon as you enter the mountains, as soon as you come to the countryside, the dial on life turns from fast way down to slow. Like it's just a totally different atmosphere up here. I also think that because we're not really able to travel internationally, places like this are awesome to come to. Like we always feel unlucky that, oh, we're kind of stuck in Taiwan. I mean, we could leave Taiwan, but we can't really get back in too easily because of the quarantine and all that. And so we've been looking for places to go to inside Taiwan to travel. And there's so many places, and this is just one of those really exceptional places that people should check out because, you know, if you have a family and you want to take them places, if you want to travel, I think this place is also really good, you know, for family travel as well. And if you go to this restaurant, the Butterfly Restaurant, if you order the Warrior set, which is what we got, that's what you get. And what's really cool about it is that when the Aboriginals went to go hunting in the mountains, they would wrap up all these ingredients in these huge leaves, and then they would tuck it away, and then they would go hunt, and when it was time to eat, they could undo the leaf and eat the food. And man, it's really good. There's nothing quite like Taiwanese Aboriginal wild boar. It's something truly special. I've never had pork like that before in my life. It is chef's kiss, so good. After that, we went to a campsite and we met this guy named George. George is the best. He's awesome. His English is really good. Aussie Australian.
Did you go to Australia, George?
Yeah, something tells me you've been to Australia.
Well, I've been around.
Okay, around. Very Australian. Nice.
Round and round and round.
And he showed us this campsite that was in Maolin. And this campsite's really cool. He showed us all the different trees and wildlife and nature and what it's there for. And there's fruit trees, and the fruit trees are there just for the animals, like people can't eat them. And we walked through it, and it was really beautiful. I actually can't wait to go there myself and camp, because me and Alan do like a bit of camping from time to time. And as we were walking, I couldn't help but notice that George had just as much passion about nature and the outdoors than our butterfly teacher did.
Recently, the hunters in this area are looking for one particular type of animal.
Yeah.
And it's very aggressive and attacking all the grounds, will be the wild boar.
Oh, okay. It's delicious though, right?
Yeah, extremely. Oh, they dig. They dig on the ground for worms.
He knew everything. He was teaching us about spiders and the different plants and things that grew there. He showed us their natural water slide they have in a river. It just looked something straight out of a fairy tale. It was beautiful. The more time we spent with George, the more we really liked him. Throughout the campsite, he showed us an herb that we're gonna make, and this is so cool. This is something I've always wanted to do, but I've never been able to, is make my own herb butter.
This one is actually also natural herb. I mean medicine. You want some? You want to use that?
Okay.
Just cut 4 leaves would do. 4 leaves.
4 leaves.
Yeah.
Just off the stem.
Yeah.
A lot of flavor in each leaf.
Yes. Extreme.
Okay.
And this called 刺葱.
Oh, that does smell good. It smells fresh.
It's called sizzle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it's like
It's nice, eh?
I didn't expect it to be that strong. Yeah.
And anybody want to be the test rabbit?
Guinea pig.
Grab one, squash it, put it in a gum, and make a numb.
What a diet.
Dude,
Go on.
like it's
Crunch it up.
Yeah,
prickly ash.
And what will this do for him?
make a numb.
Are you sure that's healthy?
Yes,
Who told you that?
old hunters.
Are you sure?
Yes, make sure you don't dribble. And take it out later.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't go in. It's all falling apart.
Yeah. Just put it in there and leave it for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave it.
Hang on a minute.
You have to keep us updated when it starts to go
Okay,
now.
I'll let you know when I can't speak.
Apparently, it does something for you. I don't know what it was, but that was really fun and an interesting experience. Nothing actually ended up happening to me, so I think I did it wrong. It was probably the fact that I just had a hard time putting it in my gum. But something like that was really special. It was so cool. And then it was time to make bread, which was why we got that herb, because that herb butter was going to be used to make bread. And so we went to this bakery that was on the campsite, and man, did we meet some cool people there. We met this guy named Dato, which literally translates to big head, which I love. And he's a pretty soft-spoken but hardworking and interesting guy, and he was so friendly and so welcoming to us. And he taught me and Alan how to make different styles of bread. And Dato explained to us that because Maolin is really wet usually, because it's way up in the mountains, it rains, their yeast is especially delicious. And I found that really interesting. And listen, I'm not a baker. I don't know anything about baking. I like to cook, but baking is not my strong suit. But Dato was really patient with me and Alan, and he taught us how to roll up the bread and different ways of making it. And it was really cool. And it was a simple bread, but there's something about making your own bread that just feels so rewarding and special. I mean, we got to roll it up ourselves, form it ourselves, and then put it in the oven. And like the whole experience was so cool. And let me tell you, this is the best bread I've ever had in Taiwan.
Oh my goodness, look at the texture of that.
Yeah.
Too hot.
Pretty hot.
We are master bakers. There's nothing on that. There's no butter, there's no jam or anything, but just the bread is crunchy and crispy on the outside. Then the dough is perfectly like risen and separated and fluffy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is fresh out of the oven. I don't know about you, but I didn't expect to enjoy baking as much as I did because I like to cook and baking's never really been my thing. But I found it actually...
Look at it, baking is a different...
It's like a totally different thing. Oh my god, the smell. My mom used to always make fun of me growing up because every time, before I would eat bread, especially fresh bread that she would bake, I'd have to smell it and go... and then I'd eat it.
So good. Unbelievable bread.
Is this the best bread you've had in Taiwan?
Yes, it is.
I was gonna say, this is the best bread I've had in Taiwan.
And not only that, we got to try some xiaomijiu. And xiaomijiu is literally small rice wine, alcohol, I'm not really sure. And man, it was good. Oh man, it was good. And I ended up buying 4 bottles. So they are right here. I'm saving these for Christmas to share with my friends. This stuff is good. If you are in Maolin, and I encourage you to go to Maolin, it's a place that just has so much special stuff. But if you're there, get some of this. It's so good. And the bread shop themselves, the bread is top notch. Me and Alan were very full by the time we left. I think for me, this trip was so special because it was like finally a time I got to go to like a local small place and try things that I truly love, to see people as passionate as they are about the things that they do. And again, it was on my bucket list of things that I wanted to do before I leave Taiwan. If I ever leave Taiwan, I didn't want to leave a speck of dirt in Taiwan unexplored by me. And I now realize that Maolin is like the coolest place. I'm going back, I can't wait. And I encourage you guys to. But anyways, yeah, I just can't wait to go back to Maolin. I've exchanged my Instagram and line with a lot of those people, and I can't wait to go out with them again. It was really, really cool. If you guys are looking for like the best mountain experience, Maolin is the place to go. It was so cool. Okay, so that's the end of our Maolin trip. I had a ton of fun thanks to George, and I never even got your name.
Dato.
Bao? Dato.
Big head.
Big head.
Dato. That's funny. Well, thank you, Dato Laosu, for teaching me how to make bread. Thanks to George for showing us this whole area. Thanks again. So I'll see you guys in Maolin. Really beautiful place. Bye-bye.